right. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Thanks for tuning in. This is episode 19 of Country Hangouts. And I'm here with Schyler, and we're chatting it up. What's up, dude?
Not much, man. How are you?
I've been good. It's been busy. It's been a couple weeks since we did a cast, so we're getting in here and catching everybody up.
Yeah, it feels good when it's busy. I wish we could maybe stay a little more up to date sometimes, but then life just doesn't get in the way, but just it happens.
Yeah, there's some things in life that you got to prioritize, and this is a little bit of a hobby right now, so we're just playing it as it comes, and it's been good so far, but
Yeah.
little break, we're back, so.
Yeah. So we got the plan of the week, and then we'll go over a photo I took and talk maybe a little bit about the Super Bowl. So let's hear about the new plant.
Yeah, all right, yeah, we'll dive straight in. This week, I chose to talk about the echinacea plant. The common name is a coneflower, and it gets that common name because the center of it kind of sticks out, it protrudes in a cone shape, so it's kind of interesting. Some of the things that are unique about the plant is, maybe not unique, but just a description of the plant, are the leaves are normally a little bit hairy with kind of a rough texture, and the blooms have a cone-shaped center that protrude out, making it obvious why the common name for them is the coneflower, kind of what I just went over. These coneflowers are native to North America, and they were found in southeast North America in the 18th century by European explorers. So they're native to North America, which I thought was really cool because there's also several properties about them that are medicinal. So we'll dive into that here in a second.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, so echinaceas they're able to be grown pretty widely throughout the country. They have a hardiness zone of 3 through 9. So anywhere in the lower 48 states is a good spot to grow them. Many species of echinaceas are cultivated for commercial use, while others that you see a little bit more commonly in greenhouses are grown as ornamental plants in gardens. The distribution of wild echinacea is wide across the U.S., with it most commonly being associated with the Great Plains region. And it extends from Texas to Canada and all the way from the Rocky Mountains into Kentucky. So pretty much the whole centerpiece of the U.S. is native echinacea grounds, which is kind of cool.
Do you have any?
I do, yeah. The other thing is I grow a lot of echinaceas at my greenhouse. So I have 2 frames that are just completely full of them, and we sell a lot. There's extras. I brought them home, and one came back last year, and I'm hoping that a couple more come back this year. So
Nice.
yeah. It is important to note that some varieties are more sensitive than others, so a little bit of experimenting might be needed to see what variety grows best in your area. And the flowers come in early summer, and the blooms last for about a month, and they come in all sorts of colors and sizes. Some of them are as small as like a foot, and others get up to about 4 feet tall. So,
Wow, that's pretty.
yeah,
cool.
pretty wide variety of echinaceas to choose from. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and move into some of the health benefits because I thought this was really interesting. So echinaceas, they're known to shorten the duration of the common cold, reduce symptoms such as sore throat, cough, and fever. For external applications, people use them on bug bites, burns, and even some like wounds like road rash or other kinds of burns. And then also you can take them for internal pain such as stomach aches, snake bites. People chew on them for toothaches. So there's a lot of it's a very like wide range of uses that the echinacea plant has.
I wonder what the first people to try that. I wonder what they were thinking. I wonder how they figured it
Yes.
out.
So I was kind of curious about that too, and I found out that they were widely used by North American Indians as folk medicine, with a lot of archaeological evidence dating back into the 18th century. So,
So technically, I guess they were discovered before that
oh
time,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. Indians been using them for a long time. The Cheyenne, the Kiowa, the Pawnee, the Lakota, and many others
That's
have
really cool.
used echinacea as the main medicine. And then early Europeans caught on to these medicinal methods, and it was the most common herbal remedy in America for a while.
Wow. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and so then after they kind of found out all the medicinal properties, that's when the commercial cultivation began. And in Germany, it started in about 1930, and then in Switzerland in about 1950, and then the the extracts of the echinacea appeared to exhibit immunostimulant properties and were promoted for treatment of the common cold, influenza, and sepsis.
Have you ever tried it?
I haven't, no. I mean, I think that you find it if you read like some of the ingredients on cold medicines, you'll see that echinacea is actually one of the active ingredients in some things I read, so that was kind of interesting.
You'll have to report back, and when you're feeling a sore throat coming on,
Right?
give it a try.
Yeah, and I looked into some of like how they extract it, and it's pretty much just like a solvent. They wash it in a solvent base, they grind it all up, wash it in a solvent base, and then they evaporate all the solvents off, and then you're left with like a high potent extract that you can kind of like mix in. Um, which, yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then the last really interesting thing about it is that despite studies and hundreds of publications, no exact identification of a truly active ingredient has been identified in it. So it's kind of just like the plant as a whole. There's like several different, like the way that it works is several different methods.
Yeah, you'd think they would have been able to figure that out, but that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of curious. And then the last thing was just the side effects of taking it are reportedly mild, if any. Mostly it's just possible gastrointestinal issues like stomach ache or lots of gas, and then also possibly like a skin irritant, like a rash. So, yeah.
That's really you got. I'm excited to see the pictures because I wonder what it looks like and if I've seen it before and where I've seen
Yeah,
it.
I definitely I have some pictures uploaded, so yeah, they should be on the screen. And there's so many different colors and varieties too that it's pretty cool.
Yeah, heck yeah. Is that all you got on it?
That's all I got. Yeah, I've been growing them for the past 3 or 4 months at Gullies, and they can be kind of a pain. They're a little susceptible to fungus. They're a little susceptible to powdery mildew. Little susceptible to botrytis. So there's just kind of a lot of things you got to keep your eye on. But mine are looking really good this year. So that's
At the greenhouse or at your house?
at the greenhouse. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. That's good. So it's kind of a challenge to keep up with it.
Yeah, there's just, and when you're growing them like I'm growing 10,000 of them probably right now, and it's just the humidity, it's cold outside, but then the sun comes out, so you got to really make sure you stay on top of spraying them and keeping a little bit of preventative stuff going. So,
Oh man, that's pretty cool. That's neat.
yeah, it is. And then, yeah, I'm going to look into maybe trying to get some next time I feel a cold coming on and experiment, see what happens, you know?
That's awesome.
I'm like 25% Native American, so it's got to be in my blood that it likes that echinacea, you know?
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. Oh man, that's cool. Guess we'll talk. So I got a photo I sent you a little bit ago. It's of this band, Counting Q, outside of there. They're in Billings, located in Billings. And a couple weeks ago, they asked me to film a NPR Tiny Desk submission for them, so they can hopefully be on a Tiny Desk concert. And it was really cool. It's great spending some time with them, and they. 3 of them are Native American, and just put on a great show. And I'll link the video to the YouTube description so someone can take a look at it. Went really well.
3 Native American, and then how many people were in the band total?
4.
Or 4, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the band was really good. We filmed a session with them on Big Sky bonus tracks a couple years back too, and just great guys. And the photo is just a group shot of them. It was a really nice shoot. Got in, got out. It was a quick turnaround, only a couple days to get the video together, but yeah, it went well.
Yeah, and I remember right when you were kind of starting Big Sky bonus tracks, that was kind of like your idea is a Tiny Desk-esque vision, and so the fact that you get to kind of practice and experiment with it, and I know you've done it a few times before, but I saw the video and it was really cool. It looked awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, with Big Sky bonus tracks, we filmed maybe close to 50 musicians, close to 100 and 120 songs probably edited. So it's been definitely a lot of practice for sure, a lot of work on it. And this was separate. This was my own business, but it was just because of Big Sky bonus tracks that I know these guys, and highly recommend checking out their music. And yeah, they rock, man.
Yeah, that's cool. How many things have you recorded?
We've recorded close to 50 musicians. I think we're by the end of season 3, we'll be we're on like episode 40 right now.
That deserves an applause right there.
So
That's a lot.
By the end of season 3, we'll probably be close to 50 bands. And
50 individual bands.
yeah, and then close to 120 songs probably. And we've done it all at no cost to the musicians.
Whoa! That's good.
That is good. Yeah, it's all been free for musicians, and we filmed some really wonderful folks, man. It's been a cool process to meet a lot of bands from Montana, from California, all the way down to the East Coast in Virginia and that area. So,
and a lot of different, there's a kind of a theme of the style of music that you like, but there's also a large difference in types of music that you film, which I think is kind of cool.
And we're open to filming all types of music. It's just we found ourselves in this Americana niche, but we'd like to get any and all types of bands on for Big Sky bonus tracks. But right now we're kind of in a transition phase. It's just been 3 of us, so we're slowly kind of 3 of us in the area that are filming, but there's been 4 or 5, 6, 7, 7 people involved over the last couple of years. But yeah, we're taking our time. We're going to finish season 3, and then we'll pick back up with season 4 sometime later this year, probably. So, yeah.
Nice. I feel like, when you start getting it going, you kind of want to take on every project that you can, and it's no matter what, you're going to make it work. And now it's you can maybe choose which ones you want to do a little more and make them a little higher quality and spend a little more time and effort on individual things that
and we'd like
you
to
want
film.
focus on.
We've had a lot of people reach out. We want to film everybody we can. It's just we're also to a point work-wise we have to transition a little bit because our jobs are a little more demanding in certain areas too. And so things have kind of are fluid at the moment, and but we appreciate all the bands and people that we've met and in our meetings. So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's what I got for a photo of the week. Experience the Big Sky bonus tracks and Grazer Photography, and we'll get that picture up and I'll link the video so people can take a look. And
maybe we'll throw a little clip of the video up on Instagram or something.
Yeah, we totally could probably.
Be cool.
Maybe we could. I'll have to check in with the guys because they bought the video.
Is it on your Instagram?
No, it's on theirs. But we could.
Okay, I'll tag them or something.
Yeah. Figure that out for sure. Yeah, man. And transition maybe to some football if you want to chat a little bit about the Super Bowl, or you also went to a hockey game. You talk about the hockey game.
Yeah. Let me just chat about the hockey game real quick, and then we'll dive into the Super Bowl because I feel like that might be a little bit more of a back and forth convo, and the hockey game's more of a story. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd never been to an NHL game. It was my first time ever kind of experiencing hockey. I guess that's not true. I went to
Moose.
Yeah, I went to a Moose game up in Jackson Hole when I was young, but I didn't really, it's hard for me to remember everything.
Those are some of my favorite memories growing up in Jackson. So before I moved to Alpine, I played hockey, and so we'd go to all of the games.
Oh, you actually played?
Yeah, I played hockey as a kid. We'd go to all the Moose games. It was just great because we'd run around. There's the bleachers, and then all of us kids would just run around behind the bleachers, and we'd play. We'd take the hockey pucks and just shoot at each other, and then we'd get to, meet the players, and it was just a cool experience as a young kid, just growing up there and enjoying the space and good times.
How old were you?
Let's see. I moved to Alpine when I was like 9, maybe.
Dang, okay.
So 9 or 10. Like I was, what's fourth grade? 11, 9, 10?
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Anyways, yeah.
Depends who you are, I think.
Yeah.
Some people go when they're 12.
Yeah. So it was like, I mean, I was in my 6 through 9, 10 when I was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Nice.
Yeah. Good
Yeah, I
times.
didn't really know you played hockey.
Yeah, it was fun. It was, if I would have stayed in Jackson, I would have enjoyed playing that, like, because they didn't offer that at Star Valley. So,
Nope.
yeah, would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I went to a Moose game when I was young, but don't really remember it. And my uncle, he gave us $100 towards a hockey game for our wedding present. So we used that and went and saw the Avalanche. It was pretty awesome. They scored 4 goals in the first period, which was like exciting because you want to see scoring when you go to a game. But it was also kind of a blowout, which for the first game I didn't mind. Everybody was excited and the atmosphere was really cool. So.
Sounds like the Super Bowl.
For real, man, it did. But yeah, some of the things that I just noticed about the hockey game was just everybody loves being loud. They hand out toys / like tools to make noise. They have a big foghorn, and everybody likes to scream. And I don't know, there's just something fun about that because it's not as exciting at other events that I've been to. Hockey's like the most exciting, it seems like. So
Totally, it's a good time. They get any fights?
There was a couple fights, yeah, and it's just also so cool to just sit there and be able to watch people kind of like duke it out, and nobody's stepping in or throwing a flag, and it's not every call. There's a penalty, which I ran into in football this year. It just seemed like there was a lot of penalties called, and that was just a refreshing change in hockey. And like they don't call anything. It's just play, as long as you're not hitting people with your stick above certain level and whatnot, but. It was cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd love to get into watching hockey. I know Seattle has a new hockey team that I'd like to watch, the Kraken.
The Kraken!
They aren't that good, so until they're, fair weather fan, I guess, but until they're good, I don't know if I'm going to pay much attention to. I watch the Seahawks. I'm invested in the Mariners. If the Supersonics ever come back, I'll be invested in them, but yeah.
Yeah, and I got this cool hat. See? This is the Colorado Avalanche logo.
That's pretty sweet, yeah.
Yep. $10. That was a steal.
That's cheap.
Steal of the freaking trade.
Seems cheap.
Whoa! I know, right? Crazy.
Having fun with these effects, eh?
I downloaded 5 new ones, and yeah, they're pretty good.
Nice. Heck yeah, man.
But yeah, it was a cool time. I wish I could go to more. They're just a little expensive because I think
it's in Denver too, so it's like a drive.
Yeah, I think it was ended up being like $80 a ticket, and it wasn't terrible seating, but
yeah. Heck yeah. Glad you had fun. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a really fun time.
Man, you are a needy puppy right now. You're all up in my business.
Yeah, little pup.
Yeah.
Getting big now, not a little pup anymore, really.
Feels like a little pup. Yeah. Yeah, man, the Super Bowl was cool. I was so stoked watching the Eagles dominate the Chiefs. It was great.
Yeah, how'd you feel that first penalty when they called it on the Eagles?
Though, long game. That was gonna be a garbage game.
What?
I was ready for the Eagles to. If it was a tight game, the Chiefs would have won, and so I'm glad it was a blowout.
They would have won, dude. I think so too, because they just have a way of moving down the field at the end of the game like no other team. It's very successful. It reminds me a little bit of the Steelers when they had Ben, because it was always exciting in the fourth quarter. He could always come back.
Yeah, it's it was just dominated, man. The refs they couldn't have been a part of the game at all because of how much the Eagles kicked the Chiefs' butts. It was great.
Yep. It was nice because it didn't come down to one play on the refs, or it was
Yeah.
just like
And
that didn't matter.
for a blowout, it honestly was kind of entertaining. So
It, I was entertained too because even after halftime, it was 24-0. So technically, three scores down if you convert all two or all three 2-point
yep.
conversions. And so I watched like the pretty much the whole third quarter, and then at that point, it was just kind of like a celebration. So
Yeah. And I mean, my dad's an Eagles fan, so it was great to be like, "Yo, how you feeling?" And he was like, at halftime, he's like, "Well," I'm like, "They're gonna win. Don't worry, it's all good. They are dominating this game." It was like it reminded me how the Seahawks when they beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl, just absolute domination. So it was fun to watch.
what I thought of at halftime was when I think it was the Falcons. They had a huge
Versus the
lead
Patriots, yeah.
and they lost. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, hope that does not happen.
Well, yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen. But it was a fun game, man. We had some ribs. I had cooked 3 racks of ribs. One of them turned out really good. The other two they're okay. Um,
Did you do dry rubs on all of them?
Dry rubs on all of them. The reason why I think I should only do 2 racks in my smoker, not 3. I don't think it's quite big enough
Big enough. Yeah.
for to evenly like get the heat and distribute the heat the way it should be. So 2 of them were a little charred, and one of them was like perfect. It was so good. So next time I'll only cook maybe 1 or 2 racks of ribs and maybe do something in the crock pot or the instant pot.
Yeah.
But yeah, food was good. Had some people over. The halftime show was okay. I thought,
Oh, yeah. I
it
was going to ask you about the halftime.
was like a solid performance, but it just was. It didn't it didn't move me or anything. It was fine.
Yeah, it really kind of like seemed like he didn't invest as much money as previous halftime shows because I remember like The Weeknd. I don't know if you remember his, but it was just like so elaborate. And there's other performances where they have like things that hoist you up in the air and just a little bit more of the effects. This seemed like a very kind of basic standard
I was listening
performance.
to Middlecoff, and he brought up a good point that like Kendrick has been famous for maybe 15 years now, but over 10 years.
10,
So like
10, 15, yeah.
but comparative to like the Super Bowl where Dr. Dre and Snoop and they played, their music's been known for 30 years. So they have like all generations, like from 60 years old all the way to kids in their teens that know him.
Yep.
Kendrick is only really known probably from our generation and younger. It's not really
Yep.
anyone older that's quite as into him. So he probably didn't like hit it for a lot of people, and that was fine. And like you said, he
Yeah.
didn't put as much. It didn't seem like he put it. They probably did put a lot of money into it, but it didn't seem like he put a lot of money into the performance.
Yeah, because like you're saying, like The Weeknd, he's probably has a similar fan base, but his performance and like the elaborateness of it was kind of like that's what grabbed the older audience to just being like, wow. But this one was just a little more simple.
I saw a rumor, and it's probably fake. It was just on Twitter. It's like Miley Cyrus next year, which was like that would be kind of fun. She would put on a good performance.
Yeah, I like Miley.
Did Taylor Swift do a Super Bowl performance?
I don't believe so.
She'd put on a good one, I bet.
Yeah, I wonder if she'd even do. Yeah, she probably would do it, but
Did you know they don't get paid? I didn't realize that until the last couple of years. They don't get paid anything.
oh,
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that either. I thought they made some money.
Maybe a little bit, like maybe a couple $1,000s, but like it's
Yeah.
people would think they'd make millions, but the reason why
Yeah.
they don't do it is because the numbers are so. Who knows what the numbers really are? But it's like read 126 million people watch the Super Bowl. Who really knows what that is? But like you're having it's the most views, the most people watching you that you'll ever have on stage. So that's why
Yeah.
they do it for free.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's like a publicity thing,
Yeah.
get your name out.
Yeah.
Just hopping back to the Kendrick thing real quick. I talked to some of my family members, my mom, my grandpa, and they pretty much told me that they couldn't understand any of his lyrics, and
That's
that
fair.
just kind of goes back to. I was like, oh yeah, like I feel like the only reason I kind of knew him is because I was familiar with the songs, like I knew the songs, and
Yeah.
now
Right.
that somebody who didn't know him told me that, it makes sense.
Yeah. I hear that. Oh man. Good times, fun game. ready for next year. Go Hawks. Screw everybody else.
Go Steelers.
And Broncos. I'd like to see the Eagles. They're just so good, man. I bet they have a good chance to repeat. And Jalen Hurts, screw what everyone says. He's a gangster when it comes to the Super Bowls, to playoffs. He's just really good. So.
Yeah, he's kind of the opposite of a lot of people where he performs better in the most important situations, which is exactly what you want. Instead of a Sam Darnold where you perform so great and you make it to the playoffs and then you drop the ball. It's just
choke it
it's
away.
not it's not necessarily always their fault, but there's just something special about someone who can show up in a time where it's needed and perform. So.
100%. Yeah. Good for him. Good for the Eagles. Like I said, go Hawks. So.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Anything else you want to touch on?
I can't think of anything off the top. I know Poe had a birthday, so I wanted to
Poe had a birthday.
wish him a happy late birthday.
7 years old man. The puppy he's such a little asshole to Poe, man. Poe will just be standing out there and Doc will run at him like Mach 5 and just jump right into his body. Like just body slamming hard, man.
I'm coming for you.
He's feeling it right now for sure. But yeah, happy birthday, Poe. Good boy. You can see him right there in the corner. Huh, Poe? Hey, what are you doing? There you go. Good dog. Cool, man. Well, appreciate you, and we'll see you guys hopefully next week.
Yeah, sounds good, homie. Have a good one.